Let's go, let's go. Woodbine Live, Sunday afternoon edition. Double dose of win and Durin races up at Woodbine. We've got the Natalma Stakes and the Summer Stakes coming up. Races 8 and 9 at Woodbine. I'm Dan Tordjman. He is Ellis Starr. She is Ren Carothers. Awesome year. Sunday afternoon action. Cannot beat it.
Sunday afternoon action.
Oh, yeah, all the action. All right, all the action. Cheers. Cheers, Ren.
I'll cheers you, yes.
Cheers.
And I saw a really funny tweet from Ellis.
Well, I said I'm starting with the porter, and depending how the Natalma goes, in case it goes badly, I'm ready with the Krabbies to fit my mood.
Love it.
Love it. If you're watching this show live now on Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube, drop us a comment. Let us know how you're enjoying this Sunday afternoon. Let us know what you're drinking. Let us know who you're betting, how you're betting, who you like in the upcoming races. We're going to talk about all of it with analysis from Ellis and Ren. We've also got Sherry at Go Philly coming up with some the winner yesterday in the Woodbine Mile with a little help from Sienna, of course. And she'll be back from the patio OTB here in just a few moments. But you know what? Before I start giving out accolades anywhere else, I ought to tip the hat to the two of you because I don't know that anyone's been hotter. I looked at Twitter yesterday, Ren, 14-1 winner, just out of the blue. Okay.
I know. I don't know. If obviously I'm happy I got that price, but then on the other hand, I think to myself, did people not trust my opinion enough to bet the horse? Because hello, he was 15-1 morning line, made all the sense of the world to me, and I'll take it.
So he was bet down slightly, 15
slightly, but thankfully Matt Carothers, he heeded my advice and he used the horse in the pick 5 and connected.
Oh,
nice.
What did the pick 5 pay?
I don't know if I should say. It paid very, 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 very nicely.
Just say if it's 4 figures or 5 figures. That's all I want to know.
It was 4 figures.
Okay.
Wow. Look at that.
It's a 20-cent bet, so that's pretty good.
Yeah. I was very happy.
Very good. Very good. Ellis, you've been hot too. I've seen your Twitter feed.
I've been hot. I got a couple seconds talking about the Woodbine Mile. I really like Space Traveler, and I did not put him underneath the one, even though I probably should have. That was the only miss, but a lot of seconds. But yeah, I've been pretty happy lately.
Very good, very good. So we're going to try to keep it rolling here. As we mentioned, we're showing you 2 races that are both winning ring races for the Breeders' Cup. The first one is race 8 at Woodbine. It's the Natalma Stakes. The Natalma is a winning ring for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf. Mark Casse has 4 runners in this race. The 6. Bakshish.
Do this like this. I'm so surprised.
Diabolic. The 8, Miss Barbara, who I like a lot. We'll talk about that in a minute. The 9, Cardio Princess. Last year's Natalma was won by a horse named Lady Spitesphere.
Yeah.
Yep.
Look at that race. Take a look at this.
Take a look.
No change in Big Plans leads the Natalma Stakes field inside the half mile. About 2 to Lady Spitesphere, having the run of the race. Dreaming of Drew on the inside, shuffling forward. Big Plans continues on. Sleek Links is about 3.5 behind the leader in 4th, and then Alda pushed along a bit now. Back second last Stunning Princess and Last Seasons. They come after Big Plans. Lady Spitesphere the outside, Dreaming of Drew the rail as they turn. Alda is finishing well down the outside. Big Plans kicks on in front. On the outside, Lady Spitesphere, Dreaming of Drew, flies up the rail. Alda down the outside, Lady Spitesphere hit the front. Down the center of the track, Alda. It's Lady Spitesphere from Alda. Alda coming, but Lady Spitesphere in front. Lady Spitesphere from Alda. And Lady Spitesphere has gone on to win the Natalma by 3/4, Alda.
Ooh, love that end.
Yeah.
So I showed that in particular. I just wanted to mention Lady Spitesphere, Emma Jane Wilson, right? Roger Atfield, and they're teaming up again here with the horse down on the rail, Ready Lady. I'll kick it off with you, Ellis. What do you think? Repeat in the cards here for Atfield and Emma Jane?
You just kind of missed something big, though, Dan.
Yeah, you missed. Ren, go ahead. I'll let you say it.
Go for
I
it.
mean, they're not just teamed up with Ready Lady, but Ready Lady is that is Lady Spike Spears' half sister.
Even better. This is why I have you guys on.
Everything's the same. Yep.
This is why I have you guys on. Let's go.
Lady Shakespeare, right? The 2020 winner is back. Yeah, I mean, certainly the mile's okay. It's a one-turn mile. So the rail is probably not as beneficial as two turns, but I'm using the horse on a lot of my tickets, pick threes, pick fours. I'll talk about those picks later, but certainly, yeah, absolutely. I think it's a great race. I've not like this one. I should cast the S4 because that's a huge surprise, but we will talk about, I'm sure, the likely favorite, Wild Beauty. And I was just trying to remember because I forget names pretty quick. Yesterday, Godolphin winning the race at Woodbine and winning one of the two races down at Belmont, and did so with Charlie Appleby, who is an amazing record as before yesterday. Graded stakes on the grass last 5 years, thanks to Stats Race Lens. Charlie Appleby 6 for 19. Wow. And now he's 8 for 21, or I don't know how. Yeah, one horse in each race, so 8 for 21 in graded stakes. Actually, I shouldn't say that because one of the race at Belmont was not graded, but the race at Woodbine was. But anyway, just unbelievable when he ships in, and those are both Godolphins.
Yep, Walton Street. It was yesterday. Godolphin. The two horses here today. You've got the big one here coming up in this race, Wild Beauty, and then in the summer stakes, Albar, which we'll get to in a moment. Ren, GMA here needs help, so help me.
Well, I mean, I will also flesh out a little bit of Ready Lady's pedigree beyond what we already know. I mean, it is such a prolific pedigree. Not only, by the way, is she by more than Ready, who is by his progeny's wins, he's at the top for Breeders' Cup scores. But Lady Shakespeare, as we already went over, she already produced the winner of last year's Natalma in the Lady Spike Spear. Lady Shakespeare herself, by theatrical, won the 87 Breeders' Cup Turf. Also, Lady Shakespeare is a full sister to Shakespeare. You remember him, right? Mm-hmm. Won the Woodbine Mile, multiple Grade 1 winner. And then another sibling, not a half sibling, but not quite 3/4, is Perfect Sherrill, who won the filly and mare Turf. So you've got like a lot of Breeders' Cup head cred there. It would be quite fitting to see her move forward and be able to get her ticket punched to the Breeders' Cup itself. I'm going to go against Wild Beauty, and I'm going to explain why she could certainly win. She could certainly win. I mean, obviously, she's bred impeccably. You're by Frankel. And then the mom, she's from the same female family of Group 1 winners in Mastery, not our United States Mastery, but Mastery, who won the St. Ledger. Also the Hong Kong Bays. And it's just a really good pedigree. But the reason I'm going to try to knock her is because she's never gone left-handed. All her races have either been straight. She has one race going right. Furthermore, not on firm ground. And I just don't, it's going to be like one of those, well, who did she beat? I will say in Spiral, who beat her 2 back. That horse was actually ridden by Dettori and did next win the Group 2 Kazoo Mayhill Stakes. So there is some reason, obviously, to like those running lines. But that being said, I'm going to go with Pizza Bianca. And the reason being here is those fractions are just really slow. And she was hanging back over, well over 5 lengths back. She's still managing to not only close to win, but by 3/4 of a length. And I like the way she did it. The way that Rosario rode her that day, Rosario, it was almost as if he just knew what he was riding, and they knew that this was just an education for her. So go out there, and he only sort of got after her a little bit to make sure that she got up for the win, and paid, just stayed to task. Other than that, it was like a hand ride. Yep. And so it makes her very exciting now on this cutback. She's by Fastnet Rock, who's a champion sprinter. Another thing that we can remember from Fastnet Rock himself is just he's out of a mare by Royal Academy, who won the Breeders' Cup Mile. And then White Hot by Galileo. You're going to get some stamina from there. That's why she could get a mile on the 16th. We're now coming back to this mile. And that dam is a 3/4 sister to Epsom Derby winner Pour Moi. So it's a really, really good pedigree. I like her placing here. She's going to get firm turf. You got Rosario traveling to ride her. She doesn't have the outside post anymore. I will say regarding Ready Lady, in the running lines, it said that she had like the perfect trip. I don't agree with that. I think she's my second pick. She had to find her way off the rail. When she came off the rail, when she got up alongside Guileful, she switched back to her wrong lead again, and yet she still won. So I like her in second, and she's actually a debut pick for me at 7-1. So I feel like, I need to owe her some respect. And Diabolic was a pick for me as well, and I like her in third. Great pedigree, but more sprint leaning. So
you're spilling all of it so early. You're supposed to tease them. You're not supposed to give them the whole thing so quickly.
Sorry.
Hey, Ren, this is a sprint. I got news for you. It's a one-turn race.
Well, I understand that too, but like it's very like more 5.5-ish, 6.
I know. I was just trying to. I'm just trying to go there.
Ellis is already drinking the Krabbies, so he's
no.
I'm still on the porter. Don't go there yet. Speaking of Rosario, I was going to say real quick. Speaking of Rosario and Clement, they just won the Woodbine Cares race 7. They just
nice
same team. So just so we know.
Look, Ren, you touched on a lot.
I know. I'm sorry. It's a lot of information.
No, it's great. So first of all, you're not going to get any of that pedigree analysis anywhere. So if you're watching, you're getting pedigree analysis you're not getting anywhere else. So we hope you enjoyed that. But you also point to something in your pace analysis on Pizza Bianca, which I think is interesting. Pizza Bianca, by the way, the name Pizza, the owner, Bobby Flay.
That's right.
We want to take a look back, as you mentioned, in that horse's debut race. The pace was so friggin' slow. And she was way off of it, like not even close to the pace. We got a replay. We pick it up from the turn for home, and you can see even turning for home how far back she is. We have a spotlight on her. So let's take a look back at how Pizza Bianca won on debut.
Had to check there and has moved to the back of the pack. Hope Over Fear with the lead. Here's Expand the Map on the outside of Ballybell as they move down for the 8th pole. It is still Hope Over Fear, then Ballybell, and Pizza Bianca, who was last in the early going. She's making a move on the outside. It's Expand the Map and Pizza Bianca. Pizza Bianca and Expand the Map, and Pizza Bianca has won it by a half length.
You see what I mean? It was like.
It's all your fault, by the way. She's 9-5 right now.
Oh, great.
We have the odds up right here. We're going to show you the race here coming up in 22 minutes. The Natalma Stakes, 9-5. 9-5 on Pizza Bianca. I am surprised that she's taking more early money than Wild Beauty. I thought Wild Beauty would be a heavy favorite here. Ellis, are you surprised?
I'm very surprised. I mean, it was a mile and 16th, and yes, she was hardly encouraged by Rosario last to first. Clement won the 2019 summer, which is the next race, the male version. Sprinter route off a Saratoga route, not a sprint. I'm sorry, off a Saratoga route, same pattern. So I can see it.
And she went wide too. She went wide on top of everything else.
There's no not, but her figure was a little low. I always with 2-year-olds, I always think if they're going to improve about the same rate, then you've got to get horses that run faster. And I'm not saying she can't win, but certainly we talk about class. Wild Beauty coming out of the Group 3, running second. Yes, Ren's point was that, but I will point out one of Ren's comments about Firm. When you look at the PP lines, you see GD is good, which is a little bit of moisture. GF
she had good Firm and 2-back, yeah.
Right, she had good Firm 2-back, where she ran second to Inspiral. So, and that was a stakes race, a pretty good stakes race for 2-year-olds, 59,000 at Sandown, which is a big purse for them. So yeah, it's good. But Diabolic, I don't. Right now, we're sitting at 9-2. By the way, off a 3-1 morning line. Cassie, which is very interesting now. So Cassie's got 4, and there's no knocking Cassie. He throws. He's like the Brown Woodbine. He throws 3 or 4 horses in a stakes race. But it's interesting is with 2-year-olds on turf going sprinter out in stakes last 5 years, he's 3 for 33, and he's only 1 for 15 in the summer in the Natalma. Now that win did come last year in the summer with Gretzky the Great.
Yep.
So it's just he throws horses at it, but Diabolic at this price coming off the win in the sprint, because that is Gretzky the Great did win the summer off a 6.5 furlong stakes win, which is a soaring free, which we'll get to. That's the male prep for the summer stakes, and the female prep is the Catch a Glimpse, who Diabolic just won.
So, you're talking, since you referenced the summer, we've got a lot of comments here. People are excited about the summer stakes as well. Is the favorite going to get beat in the summer stakes? Who could beat Joel Shug? Another comment here for Peter. I personally always bet Dubawi horses. Alba in the 9th. So we've got all that. We've got Julie here with a comment. I think it's important to note that Dettori walked the entire E.P. Taylor turf course yesterday prior to winning with Halton Street. Of course, if he's taking the flight in, I mean, especially those European jockeys, they love making a big scene walking on the turf course wherever they show up and getting a feel for it. So no surprise there. So there's a lot to get into, both in discussing those, the fact that Dettori's here, which we kind of alluded to already, but also as we look toward the summer stakes, we're going to be betting some doubles too. I'm assuming some people at home want to know who our doubles are, so we'll touch on that a little bit. But you, Ellis, just mentioned one of the local winners, locally based horses, Diabolic, winning the Catch a Glimpse last out. And we're going to go to one of our locals for this discussion, because when it comes to who's been hot at Woodbine, who's in good form, I don't think anyone's in better form than Sherry. Sherry's been lighting it up, and she joined us live now. Sherry, what's up? Uh-oh. The mic is not working. We're not hearing you. See, I jinxed her. I said she was red hot. News, and now her mic's not working.
She's gonna figure it out. See, I when I put up my post instructing people to tune in, I thought she was on site. I thought Sherry basically lives at Woodbine.
She was there yesterday.
I know, but I thought she'd be back again.
I mean, everybody needs a day at home, right? Sunday, relax, hang out. How about now, Sherry? I'm pretty sure she's calling Sienna for help. Her tech support.
There we go. Yes.
Oh, it's so funny. Yeah. I think maybe we might have just taken the headphones out. Try taking the headphones out. What do you think? We're still not hearing you. Speak to us.
Hello?
Yeah, we hear you.
I hear background.
There's some sound.
Oh, I think she should have just taken out, and then we hear it. No, just take the headphones out and start talking. No, pull them out of your computer.
Love this. It's great.
Hey, this is live, so it's all good.
Of course, we've been doing this for like a year.
Hand mine.
And we're still
Or she could go the route of oh my gosh, help me out here. I'm having, never mind. I'll come back to what I wanted to say once my brain stops stuttering here.
I can tell without a doubt this past minute is exactly the content that our viewers tune in for. So
I know, it's quality for sure.
Live TV.
We're killing it. And we could always take Sherry off the camera, as she's struggling through this, but just so we could all enjoy this process.
I know. She's struggling. Bob Dylan. She should go Bob Dylan and just hold up.
Yeah, get out a pad and a Sharpie. Start making notes and holding them. Yeah. By the way, while we're waiting for Sherry, let me say.
Here we go. Sherry, unplug the headphones from the computer and then talk.
That's right.
Can we hear you now, Sherry? Talk to her.
When she takes it out, I can hear background.
But I can't hear her.
I know, it's so weird.
Well, while we're waiting, I just want to tell everybody the Godolphin Daily Double is only $6. It's being hammered, just completely whacked out of line.
Wow.
The Godolphin Double. The next lowest double is like $21, and that's of course 90 combinations, and this one is paying $6.
Wow.
Well, while we wait for Sherry to get back on, you see there the call to action here. If you're watching, tell us who you think will win the Natalma Stakes. We want to hear your picks. We want to hear how you bet in the race. You betting doubles? Who's your double? Who are your double plays? We talked about the Godolphin double, right? Let's take a look back. We did reference some of the races Wild Beauty is coming out of. In her most recent race, She finished second in the Sweet Solera Stakes at Newmarket. Let's take a look back. When we pick up this video, you'll see she's actually on the lead, and let's see how the rest of the race unfolded.
Wild Beauty is asked to stretch now. A furlong and a half left to go in the Sweet Solera. Value Theory the far side. In the centre of the course, Wild Beauty, Majestic Glory getting through to challenge, running inside the furlong. Majestic Glory, Wild Beauty. They race now towards the final half furlong. It's Majestic Glory and David Probert in front of Wild Beauty and William Buick, and Majestic Glory takes the honours in the Sweet Solera. Wild Beauty second, Value Theory third.
Okay.
Nice.
And you're taking your stand against, right, Ren?
Well, yeah, just because, you know, I thought she was going, and she's still obviously by the time we get to post could be your post time favorite still. And so I just thought she was beatable. I didn't know that Pizza Bianca was going to be bet down to 2-1. I'm thinking that Bobby himself is laying down some green, maybe not. I did see somebody to the side over here ask me about if there was any insight regarding how much Dub paid for the 10. That's Eminent Victor. Says has worked with McCulloch and Gerrymander, who both won. I do not know how much they spent for her, because obviously we see that she was a private purchase after that debut score, going 5 furlongs on the synthetic at Arlington Park.
At 40-1, Ren.
Yes. Well, she actually has a really good female family. And obviously a switch to turf makes sense. You're out of an unusual heat mare. Unusual heat's a son of Nureyev also. That's an even more incentive. But then Mr. Z, I think one of the things people don't realize with Mr. Z is that he actually does come from a very turfy family. His grandmother was a stellar producer, actually represented by the likes of Chief Bearheart, who was, you know, big time there in Canada, by the way. I mean, he was 2-time Horse of the Year there in Canada, 4-time champion grass horse. He won the Breeders' Cup Turf. That grandmother's also the dam of Mr. Z, is also the dam of Explosive Red, who won the Hollywood Derby. So he does have a very turfy pedigree, depending on who you then breed him to. Because in the back bar reaches, Mr. Z is also from the family of Private Zone and Mr. Prospector. But I think it really is going to be determined by what type of mare he's bred to. And in this case, he's got a turf influenced mare. So the surface switch does intrigue. You're going blinkers on. You're going to Chad Brown. Obviously, that's all very cool. You've got, you know, Flavian Pratt aboard. That doesn't hurt either. But I just feel like I don't know enough that I want to go that way.
Yep.
I do.
You do?
He's my third pick. Yeah, behind.
Well, I would use her. I would use her on your tickets, but my top 3 are the 2, 1, 7. But yes, I would use her for sure.
I didn't expect 9-2. I expected to drift up a little bit from 6. But Mr. Z, who only stands for 2,500, produced the 2015 Ohio Derby winner, by the way.
Yeah.
So anyway, or won the Ohio Derby, I should say.
Yeah.
Didn't produce. And, you know, the fact that they bought this horse off of, and Michael Puich was a really good trainer in the Northwest. He's all over the place now. And a Calumet bred who, I don't know what originally sold for, but Brown got the horse. I watched every last race, every horse in this field. And I will tell you that Eminent Victor was wide and was never asked at any point to run. Still a big jump from 5 to 8 furlongs, but Brown's putting blinkers on, and you got a pretty significant workout there of 47-8 at Saratoga. So I don't know if he's pointing for this race. I don't know what point they bought the horse, but to answer the viewer's question, certainly I would not leave this horse off exotics. I think she's really, really live, because she's going to be coming. And I think she's got, again, that unusual heat pedigree, really great for the grass.
Yeah, I mean, the connections, speak for themselves. Tom Espinoza, I love this line. Wild Beauty for me has run against some good ones. Albie thinks it's extra as a plus. This Appleby guy is pretty good. I think that's understated.
I think so too.
What I say, he was 6 for 19. Now he's 7 for 20 in graded stakes races in the U.S. in the last 5 years.
Yeah, it's really hard to play against. And again,
how is Ready Lady 14-1? That is ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. No love right there.
That's ridiculous.
Speaking of redonkulous. Sherry is going to give it one more try. So here we go. We're about to try. Sherry, do we have you?
Here we go.
Oh no!
We don't hear you. We don't hear you.
Get out the pad and the Sharpie. Come on.
What is happening?
Maybe she should bust out her phone.
Yeah, maybe cell phone. Cell phone might be the best thing. Yeah, let's do cell phone. Oh.
There she goes. She's gonna hook it up.
By
the way, can we just tell everybody? Because here's the thing. I was thinking about this. If you've been involved in horse racing, now the bit of information I'm going to give you is for basically new fans. If you've been involved in horse racing beyond, I'd say I give you a year or two. If you don't know who Natalma is at that point, what the heck is wrong with you? Okay. So the name of the race, the Natalma, is of course for the dam of Northern Dancer, the Kingmaker, one of the most influential sires we have ever had. So,
well, you heard it there. I mean, you are out of the game if you don't.
I mean, I feel like I have to revoke your fan card if at this point you've been involved in racing beyond a year or two and you still don't know who she is. At that point, it's like, come on, what are you doing here? You're not serious. You're not a serious person.
Next time you go to the Bluegrass Airport, right in the middle of the floor is that pedigree, and there's Northern Dancer and
Yeah.
I see Sherry behind the scenes getting situated with her cell phone. Before we're about to bring her in a moment. Before we do, just want to kind of run through the odds quickly here. Ready Lady, as we pointed to a moment ago, the 1 horse 14-1. Pizza Bianca, your favorite, the 2 horse 2-1. The 3 Guileful 67-1. The 4 horse Royal Engagement 28-1. The 5 Wild Beauty 2-1. Just about co-favorite. I would assume Wild Beauty will go off as the favorite when it's all said and done. The 6 horse Bakshish 15-1. The 7 Diabolic won the local prep. The Catch a Glimpse 9-2, up from a 3-1 morning line. The 8 is Mrs. Barbara, who I want to talk about. I like this horse a lot. 15-1 morning line, 33-1 right now. The 9 Cardio Princess 39-1. The 10 Eminent Victor, who we spoke about a moment ago, who ran loves the pedigree of, is not completely sold on, at 5-1. All right. I see Sherry walking through the house. I think she's in the right spot now. We're about to bring her in. Let's give this one more try. Sherry.
Can you hear me?
Yeah!
We got you.
I do not know what is going on with my laptop, but
You're here.
Sienna tried, I tried, and she's the tech wizard in the house, so I don't know. But anyway, I have to say, I listened to everything that you guys have said, so I don't even know what more I can add to the conversation.
Well, tell us. Well, I was going to say tell us what we're wrong about, but there are specifically a couple of horses that we did not elaborate on, and I was hoping to get you to speak about them. It's the horses that come out of the Catch a Glimpse. Diabolic, Royal Engagement, Mrs. Barbara. We've made you wait long enough, but we're going to make you wait just a little bit longer because we're going to take a look back at that Catch a Glimpse that was won by Diabolic.
Perfect.
Coming up the rails is Diabolic. Diabolic threading right up on the inside and takes the shortcut to hit the front. Coming through is also Royal Engagement down the center. And out wider on the track is still Mrs. Barbara finishing. Royal Engagement after Diabolic. Diabolic's tearing away. Diabolic holding them safely in the Catch a Glimpse Stakes. And Diabolic has won again. Royal Engagement second, Mrs. Barbara third.
Diabolic had a sweet trip right up the rail, right? Saved all the ground, made that move. Sherry, are you sold on this horse?
You know what? I actually went to Mrs. Barbara in here, to be honest with you. I like Diabolic. I really do. I think that everything went her way in that race. And I really think Mrs. Barbara is going to like the more ground that she gets here. This race is really, really, really wide open. And I wanted to go for a price. I think Diabolic is going to run very, very well. But I don't know. For some reason, I'm wondering if Rafa, the jockey, Rafael Hernandez, because of seeing the speed on the turf yesterday, I'm wondering if he's going to have Mrs. Barbara more forwardly placed today. If you look at the running line, she was like more towards the back of the pack, and she just didn't have enough time to make up that ground. Whereas I think today with that little bit more ground, which I mean, it is only a little extra ground, but I think it's going to be enough that just maybe, you know what, Diabolic might not get there, right? So, and I love too. I was listening to everything that Ren said about Pizza Bianca. I sided with her 100%. I watched that race.
Yeah, I was like, wow.
She was geared down. I was super impressed with that. I honestly think that she's going to be very, very tough in here. But then again, I picked Joel Rosario a couple times yesterday, and I lost like.
It's the comeback tour today.
So hopefully today, you know what? I'm not jinxing him by going with Mrs. Barbara first, and then Pizza Bianca. But I really think Pizza Bianca is a nice filly, and I would not be shocked whatsoever if she won here. And I also want to touch on one thing that Ren said about her play yesterday. Doug McPherson also had that play. There was quite a few. He was my second pick in that race. Couldn't believe we got that price. I was shocked.
I don't know how that happened.
I really don't think it's any people not listening to you, because Doug too, who does like the Daily Journal, he was the only one that was on that one, and that one stood out to me as well. And so it was a gift that we got that price. It was a true gift.
Oh, for sure. And I think what somebody, people need to understand is when you're shipping horses in, you might be shipping a horse in as a companion to another horse you have in a stakes race or something. It's still really expensive to get a horse shipped. And you have to do a lot of things. You got to get Coggins tests and all these things just to ship a horse. Here you had a horse who had pedigree that was going to love synthetic, being by Into Mischief, who obviously grade 1 winner on synthetic. And then the mare had that class, and Tappa. The mare is a half to Tappa. It just made so much sense.
Ren, and you know what?
Cool it with the
it was like bombs away.
Red birdie is when you should have bet something and you didn't.
I know. I'm messing around. No, I just want to go back because we're only a couple minutes out now.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I know, I want to look forward because there are opportunities to make money now. Nathan Dix, he wants picks. Key 2-7. He's like keying 2 horses over half the field. Julie Conway is doing 2-5-7. People want selections. And look, I'm going to go with exactly what Sherry said. I love Mrs. Barbara. Third in that Catch a Glimpse. You saw that late move there. What you didn't see was the horse had to be used early to keep in touch with the field. They were like riding the heck out of her to keep her active and engaged early. They're not going to have to do that here. Naturally, she should be a lot closer to the pace because they're going a bit longer. So I think she's going to have a lot more reserve late. Not only that, she made a wide move, the widest move of any of those horses that finished in the top 3. And so when you factor all that in, you look at the way she kicked late, I think she is the clear-cut favorite here. I'm shocked to see her at 30-1. I know she was 15-1 in the morning line. Shocked to see her.
Me too, but I'm happy, Dan. I'm really happy about that.
Same here.
I will take 30
You're shocked?
on Mark Cassie at Woodbine any day.
And because Cassie is the all-time leader with 6 wins in the Natalma, right? He won this race for 3 years in a row, 5 of 6 years. He hasn't won this since 2016, but he's won this race more than anyone. He's got 4 horses in here. He will do whatever he has to do to win this race.
You should better 30.
Okay, you go ahead, Ellis.
No, I was gonna say you should better at 30-1. But let me set you straight, man. I watched the Catch a Glimpse twice. I'm telling you. And Royal Engagement and Mrs. Barbara were not going to be Diabolic if they went around another 2 times.
Oh,
nothing's changing that today.
Come on.
And Wild Beauty's better than Diabolic. So, but just real quick, my play is 5-7 over 1-5-7-10 exacta. That's all I'm doing here.
I think Diabolic is a very, very nice price at 9-2. If you're in the Diabolic camp, I would definitely bet her at that. But I really do think that this is a very wide open race, and I feel this is a race that you can bet against Wild Beauty. If she wins, she wins. That's great. But to me, there's a lot of value in here, so I would rather take a shot somewhere else.
Real talk. I think Wild Beauty is probably going to win this race myself, but I'm going to use Mrs. Barbara. 5-7 over 1-5-7-10 for Ellis. Sherry, what would be your play right here? How would you play it?
Oh, I've got 8-7. And then I've got to pick 4 in as well. But it started in the last race. Sorry, I got to pick 5 in. I got 2, 6, 7, 1, 4, 4, 8, 11 is my pick 4.
I see you wrote it on a board. Show us your picks real quick. What do you got?
Oh, on a board on my form.
Oh, in your form. I thought you had like a magic erase board there. There you go.
I should do that. I should do that. I'm going to invest in that next time. I got to go to the Hobby Lobby.
We're clearly not paying you enough to be able to do that. So
that Dolphin double still paying $7, by the way.
Wow.
I'm going with 258. I'm betting an exacta box for $10. I'm going 258. I think Mrs. Barbara hits the board. I hope she finishes first or second, but I think she runs a big race here. The 5 is now your favorite at 8 to 5.
I still can't believe that the 1 is 14 to 1. That's
crazy. No love at all.
That's silly.
Flying dismount time.
Let's listen in here. They're just about loaded for the Natalma Stakes. So winning your in race, as we mentioned again, for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf. We've got 2 more horses to run. This is one entered. This is one we haven't talked too much about. Cardio Princess, wire-to-wire winner on debut, going 5 furlongs on the turf. Rafael Hernandez rode there, but again hops off here.
Speed, early speed.
That's your speed. I think you're right. I think that's the horse that's going to be on the lead.
Yep.
All right. There's Eminent Victor going in. And here they are for the Natalma Stakes.
Off their race in the Natalma Stakes. And as they broke, Wild Beauty, a distinct last, is 2 lengths behind the entire field. Cardio Princess began very well on the outside to be up in front and showing early speed. Guileful, Ready Lady on the inside, followed by Royal Engagement, and 2.5 lengths behind them is Pizza Bianca in 5th, and then Diabolic. And Bucksheesh traveling up on the inside, 2 to Eminent Victor, Mrs. Barbara, and now Wild Beauty is moving up on the outside and must be about 10 lengths off this leader. Cardio Princess has the early lead by 1.5 lengths to in second placing Guileful. Just shading Ready Lady. On their outside is Royal Engagement there, 3 to Pizza Bianca, followed by Diabolic, Bucksheesh. And then comes Wild Beauty gaining some ground. 1.5 lengths, Eminent Victor second last. And the trailer is Mrs. Barbara. Racing inside the half mile in the Natalma Stakes, and Cardio Princess on top. In second, Guileful, Ready Lady the inside. Racing 3 wide is Royal Engagement, about 2 to Pizza Bianca. Diabolic, they're starting to edge into it well. Wild Beauty catching ground is 2 behind them. And then Bucksheesh third last, Eminent Victor second last. And as they turn, Mrs. Barbara's at the back. Cardio Princess, Guileful, Royal Engagement, Diabolic. The inside, Ready Lady. Opening for Pizza Bianca to try and get through is muscling. And now Wild Beauty emerging down the outside. Wild Beauty swallowed them up. Didn't begin well, but it doesn't matter.
Goodbye.
Wild Beauty's raced away. Pizza Bianca at the second spot, but she's a real talent, Wild Beauty, and she is devastating them here in the Natalma Stakes. And Frankie Dettori and Wild Beauty wrap this up in style. Wild Beauty, plenty left. About 2 3/4 lengths. Pizza Bianca. Eminent Victor got in for show, and Mrs. Barbara was 4th. Behind them, Diabolic.
All right.
I just couldn't at that price.
Dude, clear cut. I mean, this horse, Charlie Appleby is shipping anything in.
Yeah.
It's going to win. That's it. We know the answer. Like, this show is going to be on for another 50 minutes, but go ahead, bet everything you have right now on Albar. There is no way Charlie Appleby loses the next race. Like, that's
eight. Right, 8 for it's going to be 8 for 18. It's going to be 9 for 19, probably. Unfortunately, everybody knows my motto, which is friends will let friends bet chalk. And there was a race 2 weeks ago. There was some favorite that I actually picked on one of the blogs, and our good friend Jude Feld tweeted out when somebody said I liked it. He goes, "If Uber Capper likes it, it's serious. If he likes a favorite, it's serious." And I'm sorry. In both, I put up both of these races on the Woodbine website as my picks, and I picked Wild Beauty and Albar on top because I just think that these are, first of all, they've been running without Lasix. Second of all, they've been running against better this time of year. There's nothing compared to the group, even the Group 3s in Europe, just destroy these here. And this was impressive because she did lose about 3 lengths at the start.
Yeah, ping-ponged. Oh my gosh.
Yep, ping-pong.
Okay, everybody, make note of this because obviously this is a win and you're in for the Juvenile Fillies Turf. You have to take into consideration, she didn't just break slowly. This filly just got ping-ponged out of the gate and still crushed at the end. And these fillies, I know, for example, Pizza Bianca who this is just her second start. This is a really well-met filly too, and she crushes her here. So please, I mean, I don't know how the whole field's going to look once we get to November 5th, but that is something you certainly need to keep track of regarding the fact that not only did she win this race, but she won it after travails of that nature.
Also keep track of the other two, though. Pizza Bianca.
Yeah, that was a really solid second time out effort, for sure. And she got...
And Eminent Victor, she'll now be second time Brown if they run her in the Breeders' Cup. Eminent Victor definitely ran a race that might actually have been more focused on the next race than this race.
Very possibly.
As you know,
something else I just want to mention too, like while we're talking about Breeders' Cup, is a lot of the Woodbine Mile and the Natalma in the summer tend to actually produce a lot of Breeders' Cup horses that place very well.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind. Maybe they don't win, or you know what I mean? They come second, third, or fourth, but you know what? It tends to produce runners that do well at the Breeders' Cup. So I think that's something to kind of take away from a lot of these win and you're in races too. I thought Pizza Bianca ran super. She was not going to beat the winner.
She got stymied there for a minute. You probably heard me yelling. Sorry, guys. She kind of got stymied, and then she kind of busted her way through. She looks to me to be a pretty big filly. And that is only something that, with a little more maturation, once we get to November 5th, if she already has a second talent, the more time to physically mature, and now the extra experience, I think she's still a horse we definitely look at. But yeah, that was super.
Right?
I'm sorry?
She needs to grow into herself a little bit.
Yeah. And props to Dan and Sherry, Mrs. Barbara, still finishing fourth. Real nice.
She ran great. Like she outran those odds. And I'm not, you know, as much as I was hoping she would hit top 3, I'm not disappointed. She really ran the race that I thought she would run. She was a little bit far behind at the start. It is really tough to make up ground. Like we saw yesterday, speed is really good. And I know like the top 2 had trouble. Good horses overcome trouble. We all know that, right? That's one of the biggest things that we always say. Good horses can overcome trouble. What's
the odds on the Flying Dismount? 1 to 5?
Oh, 1 to 9.
Oh, no!
What was that? Frankie, was it because she's 2? Come on.
He didn't even hop off. He just like.
This is her 6th race. That was like.
He slid off. That's how I would come off a horse. He just slid right off a horse. What was that?
That was so underwhelming.
He's saving it for Albar, I guess.
Oh my God.
Well, maybe, I don't know, is she a spooky filly because she's 2? What the heck was that?
That was soft. That was soft.
You know,
that was not a Frankie Dettori distance.
You know what, Dan? I have another reason why I should be a fan of this horse, by the way.
Yeah.
Tail female to Mesopotamia. I mean, hello. So am I. I'm tail female to Mesopotamia.
Oh, this is a good question.
Yes.
This one was impressive. So how good is Inspiral?
You know, it's a good question. Like I said, she did win a Group 2 out of that race, the Kazoo Mayhill Stakes. So Dettori must be tired.
Good one, Nancy.
People are finally buying into the Godolphin Appleby thing. If they're here, they're winning. Here's a little surprise for you guys. I'm going to get a beer, so I'm leaving the show in your hands.
Oh my goodness.
Bye.
Well, here's a not surprise now. I don't need to whip out the Krabbies because I got the winner.
Besides you? That's my question.
All right, keep us afloat, guys. Come on, we got a big race coming up, the Summer Stakes. I'll be back in a few minutes.
All right.
Okay,
you know what, Ren?
Yes.
I just want to say to Ren that, you know what, after being at Woodbine yesterday and hearing a lot of chatter in the media box and stuff, and same thing to you, Ellis, a lot of people really do pay attention to a lot of the things that you put out.
Aww.
So please continue to do what you guys do.
That's so sweet.
Everybody.
Wow.
And you know what? I'm not a pedigree person, so it's really good. I only got into the game, long time ago, kind of. But I don't know pedigree to pedigree to pedigree. I only kind of know from when I first started. So the more information, the better. And it only makes you better as a handicapper. So I think it's really great to do the write-ups and explain why that you pick, who you pick, and what your bets are. I think it's really informative to the viewers. So I really hope that you guys keep it up.
That means a
that's
lot.
good. I do. Ren has much more pedigree than me because I try and pick allowance races, but occasionally do pedigree. But I also want to say shout out to Jamie and Mark and the team at Woodbine for supporting us. It's been very nice to do that. Yeah.
No, we love all you guys.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this, like, it was actually such a different vibe yesterday than at Queen's Plate, because international and the Woodbine Mile obviously do have a different vibe than Queen's Plate to begin with, but it's more of the real diehard racing people that love to go there. Like, everyone wanted to see Frankie Dettori, and it's the Breeders' Cup win and you're in. And so it was really neat. And that's why it was so great for me to take Sienna there, so she could understand the whole different kind of concept. And it actually felt kind of like the pandemic didn't really exist. Like, even though we were masked and whatever, it was still nice that, everybody that was there for the horses. And to me, that is the coolest feeling in the world. Right?
They've been such a great escape, the horses. And one of the observations that I feel has been so compelling is that horses have been walking alongside us, and we've been riding them for centuries. And the fact that through a global global pandemic, the fact that the horses never stopped, there was something so poetic about that. The horses never stopped.
They stopped here, but it didn't mean we stopped caring for them or riding them.
I know, for you guys, I know. But
it was a big solace for us.
In terms of,
and it made me so happy to see an actual local win the Woodbine Mile yesterday. Just because you know what? It was such a tough year. And to see our Woodbine community rally around, I mean, to me, that's what it's all about. And for my child to have her first Woodbine Mile winner, and, there was so many good storylines, and no matter what negative stuff is going on, it was so nice to finally just feel the positive stuff and to see people happy and smiling and cheering. And I hope that a lot of people realize that it's not just the 2 minutes that you see. Like, this makes so many people happy. And it's such a great sport that I hope so many more get involved.
Oh, I so agree with you. And one of the things I love about it is these horses, they've been racing horses since there were two horses for one guy to get on, another guy to get on the other one. They've been competing and saying, well, I've got the faster horse, so let's see who wins this race. If you look at history even, Greco-Persian Wars, the Persians stopped along the way down to race horses. So we've had it historically, and if anything, if everything else falls away, cars somehow become obsolete, there will always be horses.
So talking about horses,
guys, if you don't know how to ride, learn.
I was going to say segueing, talking about horses.
I've just started learning, and I'm 2 years in, and my daughter has taught me, and I'm in my second competition this weekend coming up.
Nice.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, at my age, let me tell you, it took a lot of bumps and bruises, but it's the best thing I ever did for myself. So, especially as a mom.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So interestingly enough, talking about this race quick, there's one coming up. Did anybody think Dripping Gold would be the second choice behind Albar here?
That's my play.
I did.
Well, okay.
That's my play today. I love Dripping Gold.
Yeah, although I'm going with a big long shot here. I'm going with the 3, Grafton Street on top. I'm going 314.
So we should set this up like we did the last one. Let's take a look back at the. Oh, by the way, I'm back. Hi guys, I got another beer.
Were you gone?
Yeah. Like, I know you guys can bear like being without me here for that 5 minutes. Sherry, I caught the tail end of what you were saying, kind of describing like how awesome yesterday was, and that really is like why we love this. I mean, it was just I was like really well said. I want to like clip that and like put that somewhere. I'll probably clip it and put it somewhere. Or Greg, who's behind the scenes, will probably do that.
and I tried to explain it to Sienna. I mean, like, when you're a mom, like I've been with her for 15 months now through this pandemic, or 16. Like, she just went into high school this year.
Yeah.
And, she's been to a lot of racing places with me, but she's never been to the mile. Mm-hmm. So for her to go there and actually pick the winner yesterday,
that's awesome.
Like, it was honestly the best day that we could have had. And so, you know, like I had a few winners, she had a few winners, my husband had none. So he was like, okay, good. We all balance out. He's like, I watched from home and it didn't pan out for me. So, but you know what? It doesn't matter. Everybody's watching.
That's right.
It's funny, Ellis and Ren. I don't know if you caught any of it yesterday, but we were talking right before the Woodbine Mile, and I told Sherry, I was like, bring Sienna in, 100% beginner's luck. She's gonna hit this race, so just tell us who the horse is. Like, just tell us who the horse is. And at first, Sienna was like, well, I don't know. You know, I win. I'm not positive. And I was like, all right, come on, Sienna, give it to us. Give it. And it's just Town Cruise. And then, of course, like I was like, look, when this horse wins, you come back on after the win, and we'll talk about it. We'll celebrate. There's something real there. There's like, I totally believe in beginner's luck, and I also believe in like positive energy. And like Sherry being out there yesterday with Sienna, it was all positive vibes. It had to happen, and it happened. So it was just really cool to see. Anyhow, we will get a clip of that what you said a moment ago, because I thought it was really powerful the way you described all of it, which is awesome.
I just want to touch on one more thing while I have everyone, is that I also had my Gator Kitten mile button. And for those of you that don't know, Gator Kitten passed away on Friday, and he was a very big personality at Woodbine and on Twitter, and he brought people a lot of happiness. So I just want to send a little bit of a shout out to my friend Sarah, who was Gator's voice, and thank her for sharing Gator with all of the Twitter sphere, because it was he was a very unique cat, a pet, part of the family, and I just want her to know that it was talked about a lot yesterday, and I think that, you know what, a lot of Woodbine people and media people and everybody were thinking of her. So I just kind of wanted to put that out there before we move on to the next race. So
yeah, no, nicely done. Absolutely. And like, you know, I mean, it sounds crazy. Like if you're just tuning in from like, you just landed from outer space and you're like, are people talking about a Twitter cat on a show? But like, yeah, like if you're on racing Twitter, like Gator Kitten was a part of that fabric. So, and has always been. So definitely thoughts out to, you know, to Sarah and the team and everybody who obviously, you know, loves Gator Kitten. And I put a tweet out yesterday saying, you know, I'm not much of a cat guy at all. Like I've never like been a big fan of cats.
No, I think Gator actually scratched you, right?
Yeah. But, you know, how could you not love Gator Kitten? Because of the personality.
And Tepin won the mile that year.
Yes, that's exactly
so
right.
If you scroll the feed, there's a picture of Gator Kitten giving the trophy to. So it's actually, you know, like for people that just want a feel good story and something to smile about, that's what it was all about. So I just wanted to put that out there, and I wanted to make sure that all of the followers, we thank them, and Sarah is grateful for all of you and thoughts with all of them, with them.
Yeah. Well, Sarah, I look forward to seeing Sarah when I'm back up at Woodbine at some point too, and you know, again, thoughts out to her and the team. So we are we're sort of inching closer here now to the Summer Stakes, which as we've told you a number of times here, is winning ring for the Juvenile Turf. If you're watching at home with us, thank you for being with us this afternoon. Hopefully you're enjoying what you've seen so far, and hopefully we can find a winner here coming up in the Summer Stakes. Let's just quickly kind of roll through the odds here as we look at them. You're looking at a long shot on the board there. Here's one that Ren said she liked, Grafton Street, the 3.
That's my boy.
Currently 6-1. Heading back down toward the rail, you got Dripping Gold. I am a little surprised at 5-2, down from 9-2 on the morning line. Shug McGahee, though, Joel Rosario, West Point Thoroughbreds, big connections here. Decorated Invader, of course, a couple of years ago came up and did the job here. So, you know, respect to connections there, I think, and that's where what you're seeing in that 5-2 right there. The 2-horse Luckman, 41-1. Mark Cassie again with the loaded hand here. He's got Grafton Street. The 3-horse has Luckman as well. The 4, Alpar. If you're crazy enough to to not bet. Charlie Appleby, good luck. Appleby Godolphin, I think people are catching on now, 4-5. Horse may go off at 3-5 or less at this point.
Means the sea in Arabic. Sea.
Ooh, okay. All right. Well, now you know to come ready with that stuff. The 5, Heat Merchant, 49-1. The 6, Degree of Risk, from 8-1 up to 20-1. The 7, Super Legacy, another Mark Cassie, 15-1. Morning Line, 45-1 right now. First Empire, 11-1.
Ooh.
5-2 on the morning line.
That's an overlay, big time.
The 9, Ready for the Lady, 4-1 right now on Ready for the Lady. All right, before we dig into this race, we've got 13 minutes. I want to take a look back at the 2020 Summer Stakes.
The leader remains ready to repeat by a couple of lengths to Gretzky the Great. Over on the inside, Secret Potion under a little bit of pressure, but going forward is American Monarch, and now Dolder Grand sweeps home on the outside from Heat of the Night, and Download, Ready to Repeat, goes on. Comes for the home stretch in front of the Summer Stakes by about a length and a half to Gretzky the Great. American Monarch hooks to the center. Gretzky the Great comes alongside, Ready to Repeat, and Gretzky the Great and Ready to Repeat well ahead of the opposition. And Gretzky the Great has gone by Ready to Repeat in the blink of an eye. 3 lengths away the others. American Monarch heads them. Gretzky the Great goes to the rail, and now Ready to Repeat trying to rally again in second. But Gretzky the Great is the best in the field by far. Gretzky the Great wins the Summer Stakes, 3 lengths to Ready to Repeat, Dolder Grand.
All right, that was 2020. Let's talk 2021.
Well, I know something funny, by the way. Just from a pet. So, like, Ready for the Lady, by the way, that horse is out of a half sister to Ready Lady, who just ran in the Natalma, and a half, obviously, to Lady Spite Spear. I just thought that was funny. I mean, it's all the breeding theory. When you see from the 50 stable, obviously they have the whole Lady Sherrill lines. Broodmare wise. It's not my pick, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, this is what you live for. Did you see this from Pete's excited?
He was asking about the large heart gene earlier. Large heart gene is this idea of like the X factor of, for example, Secretariat, when they did the autopsy, they found his heart was just like exponentially bigger than a regular horse's heart. So they discovered this like X factor gene, which the theory is a stallion can pass it on to his daughters. The daughters can pass it on to their daughters and their sons, but a son can't pass it on to another son. So it's this whole idea of like a pattern you have to look for. Whether or not there's actual validity to it, oh no. But it's fun to think about.
Ellis, can you just repeat everything Ren just said?
Heart.
This is after
big,
I had this after no food.
Heart, I think my takeaways were heart, big, genetics, maybe.
All right, easier question.
Well, for example, that's why they think AP Indy potentially, because AP Indy is that a weekend surprise who's a daughter Secretariat. So from Secretariat, large heart gene, to weekend surprise to pass it on then to AP Indy. And then AP Indy can pass it on to his daughters. Can't pass it on to your sons though, because it's an X factor, which is an X chromosome, female. Boom. That's
Naturally.
That is way over my head. way over my head.
Like I said, Ellis, easier question. Who's going to win the Summer Stakes?
My top pick's Alvar. I really don't think he's tough. But looking at the odds board right now, I will make the case for a couple horses underneath and maybe Saver win bets. 6 Degree of Risk is also a Godolphin. Kentucky bred by Cairo Prince out of a hard spun mare, run all day. Was not disgraced when second to First Empire. Now you're looking at First Empire here, who is 10-1, and the 6 Secret Risk is 19-1. They're both it. So my play is the 4 over the 6-8 and a try 4 over all over 6-8, trying to get Dripping Gold out of the top 3. The 8 Empire, First Empire again. The only win Cassie has the last 5 years in the Talman Summer came last year with Gretzky off the Soaring Free, which you just showed. Also, War Will ran second off a 7 furlong race in this race. certainly the third horse already came back to win, won a maiden race, I believe, or won it. No, first level allowance. Heaven Street came back to win. But I mean, Albar is not to say classier because he didn't run any group races in England, but he's a gelding, which is unusual. Godolphin keeps the horse, going to just run, and he's won 3 in a row. He did win a left-handed, which Royal Beauty had not. He went on good. He's won 2 on Good to Firm, and Frankie actually rode him once before as well. So everything points to Albar, and as we saw with the Wild Beauty, even with a bad break, if the horse is classy enough, it should win. So for me, it's 4 over 6-8, but small win bets on the 6 and the 8 at those odds.
Let me tell you who's dangerous right now. Sherry is dangerous right now. Are you familiar with the meme, the Michael Jordan meme? Where he's like sitting back from the documentary. He's like, and I took that personally. That's Sherry right now. When we read the lines for First Empire, we said the horse was 9-1 or 15-1. Sherry took that personally. So she's ready to fire with a winner here. So Sherry, tell us how this is going to work out.
Well, I was a big fan of First Empire. So, I think I'm shocked that he is at that price right now. And see, this is the thing, when you handicap before the races and then you see actually like what everything is going at, it just kind of makes you go, because I did not think Dripping Gold would end up being 5-2. I really didn't. And that was my play in here. But if First Empire is at 9-1, I am all over that.
Yep.
All over it. I will
also
bet him to win. I will use Dripping Gold for sure in it. And I'm just trying to think in my brain right now who I'm going to use for third. And I know that the Charlie Appleby and what Ellis has said, I've listened, but I am an odds player and I want to be favorite. I'm not going to use them because I believe at some point they are not going to win. And if they do, great. But I'm going to back myself up by playing First Empire because to me at 9-1, that is a gift. And I actually bet
a great price.
I bet against First Empire last out.
You gotta love the Breeders' Cup head cred there because you're by a Breeders' Cup juvenile winner in Classic Empire, and then your dad was by a juvenile winner in Macho Uno. You got all the head cred.
Empire. I
and you're still going to get this price, Sherry, by the way.
Of Classic Empire. I really don't. I don't think we got to see the full potential of Classic Empire. So I love it that his babies are coming in, and I would have never thought on turf they would have done so well, but man.
Oh, well, he's by Pioneer the Nile, and Pioneer the Nile is Empire Maker's out of Tussauds. So.
And we had a lot of Pioneer on the Niles up here, right?
That's
because
awesome.
They love the synthetic.
Yeah, because yes, exactly.
They love the synthetic. So that's why, it's, I don't know. I think this is going to be a really, really, really interesting race. I think that if for some reason the favorite doesn't produce, boy, oh boy, it's going to be bombs away. And I kind of thought that about the last race and I was totally wrong. But at some point, you know what? A price has to come in. Like, look at like Ren said, she hit yesterday. Believe me, the prices were ridiculous.
Yeah.
They were ridiculous.
We don't say ridiculous. We say redonkulous.
Redonkulous.
I was 4-5 yesterday. And I was like freaking out. So kudos to Ren for actually cashing that because it is phenomenal. It is not easy. It is not easy. And you have to try to find the race that you're going to beat the favorite in. So the last race, obviously, we didn't beat the favorite. So this one I'm going to try to.
Okay.
I want to say, Sherry, by the way, Sherry, you're going to get your price because looking at the doubles, Dripping Gold's much lower than First Empire. So even if First Empire gets bet, I think he's still going to end up at 6 or 7 or 8-1. So you're going to get good value.
That's a great price.
And now Dripping Gold is starting to climb up, right?
Yeah.
So let's
I think we're going to see 5-1 on Dripping Gold.
Well, let's take a closer look at this horse. Dripping Gold, as we mentioned, I think all of us were slightly taken aback by the price. Ren maybe not. Ren maybe thought the price was right on him.
Dude, do you know what his? Come on, his pedigree. Get out of here. You're kidding me, right?
Before
But
you,
that's
Watch your replay, and then I'll tell you.
you know
9-2
exactly where we're
made no
going.
sense to me. I'm like, I'll take that 9-2 because his pedigree is like from what I know of pedigree, not
Redonkulous.
Exactly. It looked like off the charts to me. So I'm like, I'll take gold at 9-2, 100%.
All right, let's go to the videotape.
Morning Thoughts and Dripping Gold, the two of them are right together coming for the top of the stretch. Pickway is next in third, Boston Flagship on the outside in fourth, and Gooch Bra is down at the rail as they move for the eighth pole. Here is Dripping Gold to take over now. Dripping Gold is in front, getting away to lead by 3. Then Pickway and Gooch Bra. They're coming down for the finish, and it will be Dripping Gold to win the opener on Whitney Day.
He's such a pretty horse too. On top of it,
Yes.
I mean, so pretty.
What about? Okay, so here's the question that I want to ask to you guys because I'm a local. So when you're handicapping these races, what do you think with our long stretch? Because we have the longest stretch in North America, right?
I think with a horse like that, I mean, you see the long leg, the extension. I think a horse like that ends up loving it. And then just to get to because we're getting close, to get to the pedigree of why this horse is so impressive. Also, let's not forget, you're buying Lemon Drop Kid. Think about Lemon Drop Kid. You've got so much great pedigree already just there because Lemon Drop Kid is son of King Mambo. King Mambo was out of Miask, 2-time Breeders' Cup Mile winner. Then on the bottom side there, and then the other thing I should mention, Lemon Drop Kid, female family of AP Indy, by the way. But going to the dam here, Aurelia of Dripping Gold, she is out of a full sister to Althea. And I always say it this way, I'll say it again, Althea was a freak. She won the Arkansas Derby. She was Dwayne Lucas, Derby hopeful. Derby didn't go great for her, but she beat Gate Dancer for crying out loud in the Arkansas Derby. Okay, this is a pedigree. That female family also includes the likes of Arch, Okoma, California Chrome, Cafefe. I mean, it's just like Iron Liege. I mean, it's just a crazy, crazy good pedigree. So that's why, obviously West Point wanted the horse. And he's just absolutely beautiful on top of it. I did go with Grafton Street. The reason I went with him, son of Warfront, going to be able to get on the turf. Obviously, that debut way back in May. Yeah. Sloppy Steel track, sprinting 5 furlongs. Again, you're by Warfront. The dam here, La Hinch Classics. She's basically from the female family of Hit It a Bomb, who won the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf in 2015. I could get more specific, but we're running short on time. So I just want to throw that out there. Remember, Hit It a Bomb himself, also a full brother to Brave Anna, who was a high-weight 2-year-old filly across the pond, both of them by Warfront. So you basically took a female family that goes well with Warfront, breeding it back to that same sweet spring. And now we have this horse, Grafton Street, who again gets to get on the turf, which they were intending him to be on in the first place. So that's why I went with him on top.
I like Grafton Street a lot. I mean, of all the Cassies, Grafton Street would be my play as well. A bit of a wild card here, as you mentioned, hasn't run since May. But power connections, power pedigree.
Yeah, I will say real quick to what Ellis was talking about. It is a little bit strange that they did geld Albar because not only did he show talent already, but he is a half brother to a Group 1 winner in Cascadian, who won the Doncaster Mile. Mm-hmm. So it is a little strange that they gelded him. There might have been a mental, focus reason. I don't know.
Ellis, final thoughts here as the horses are getting close to loading into the gate here for the Summer Stakes.
Yeah, it's Albar's race to lose. He looks like $1 million on the track. His ears are up. He's ready. He looks like a man, and maybe against boys. I don't know yet. I'm against Dripping Gold the same way Sherry's against Albar. I don't like Dripping Gold a bit here, so I'm sticking with my 4, 6, 8, 4 on top over the 6, 8. Win bets on the 6 and the 8, and that's what I've got to move forward in the pick 3 and pick 4s.
All right. I'm actually unboxing the 3-4-7. I got lots of combinations with 3, 4, and 7. My price would be the 7 here. A little bit of a reach maybe, but I'm really 3-4. I think if I were to be honest. Here we go. Ren's plays on paper. 3, 1, 4. Sherry, as they're loading, you get the last word.
I am going with win place on the 1, Dripping Gold, who I love. I'm also going to take the 8, and I got 1, 3, 8 because I believe in what Ren is saying. Exacta.
All right.
And Ellis was onto something. The price has gradually come down on the 8 horse. Still value. I think if you like the horse from 5-2 on the morning line, First Empire, 6-1. Would not be surprised if the final odds on that one are closer to 5-1 or 9-2. But it has come down considerably.
And Albar's wearing a blanket, by the way. Albar's wearing a blanket going to the gate, which is what Europeans do because they're not used to our tight gates.
All right, they're loading in. This is the Summer Stakes. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Good luck. If you got bets on the line, let's make some money here.
Good luck, everybody.
Away they race in the Summer Stakes, and as they broke, Albar was last out the gate and best into stride. Toward the outside, First Empire a length to Degree of Risk, and shooting through is Heat Merchant near the centre. On the inside, Dripping Gold is sharing third, and then Super Legacy ready for the lady. A length to Grafton Street, Albar second last. A length and a half away last is Luckman. 7 lengths covers the field and breaking free in the early part. First Empire and Patrick Husbands get out to lead 3 lengths. Heat Merchant second, a neck to Degree of Risk. 2.5 to Super Legacy. And racing next is on the inside, Dripping Gold. Ahead away is Albar, who's about 5 off the lead. A length away, Grafton Street improving on the inside of Ready for the Lady. And Luckman is last. Racing towards the half mile in front is First Empire by 2 lengths. Heat Merchant in second. Degree of Risk third. A length away Super Legacy. Albar started to go past Dripping Gold in the centre. And then follows over on the inside. Grafton Street looking for room. Ready for Lady on the outside. And last of all is still Luckman. But out in front First Empire by a length to Heat Merchant coming at this leader. Degree of Risk 3 wide. Albar's about 2.5 behind. Gathered up now by Frank-Editorian. Super Legacy the outside. Albar switches to the outside as the leaders. First Empire, Degree of Risk, Heat Merchant, and Albar on the outside. Degree of Risk, and Albar go on, and First Empire the rail, but Albar's hit the front, and Albar coming away from Degree of Risk. Grafton Street is running late on the outside. In front, Albar, a 16th to run the Summer Stakes, and Dolphin's got it won.
I'm going to get second again.
Albar goes on to score by 2.5 lengths to Grafton Street. Degree of Risk.
I just got second again on the wrong lead.
First Empire,
On the
behind them,
wrong
Ready for the
lead.
Lady. Luckman, Heat Merchant at last, Super Legacy.
Ellis wanted that 6 to hang in there. I know.
I did really, yes. Yeah. I wanted a Dolphin one too.
Ren, we
I'm
knew.
the wrong lead. I'm the wrong lead.
Ren.
How is he? I'm sorry, like Ryan Hernandez. Like, okay, I'm not the jockey. I'm not going to doubt him. Like, if he felt he had to like go like what he just did, then fine.
Ren, we're going full screen on you. Go crazy.
No, I don't want to.
God, throw your papers in here.
So 9-1, my play of the day at Woodbine.
Hell of a call.
Just run second.
It's
in
still a
his
hell of a call. It's still a
second
great
ever career start.
You'll get a great price. You'll get a great
First
price in the Breeders' Cup. Juvenile. You'll get a great price.
That's a great call. 9-1. Be proud. That's a great freaking call. Nobody was beating Albar.
Yeah.
No one was beating Albar. It's a great call. You finished second. That's the best you were going to do. And Grafton Street ran a really big race. That was a great
he ran huge run.
Thank you.
9
I
for
just hate it
19
when it's
now.
wasted. I just hate it when it's wasted because now when
No,
like you just
Ren, you're wrong though. I mean, respectfully,
It's not wasted.
horses that run second in the prep races get completely overlooked in the big race.
I hope
Horses
you're
run-
right. I hope you're
it's
right.
it's
gonna
always
be-
the case. Think of all the
Yeah.
runners up in the Derby that were 20 and 30 to 1.
And
If this horse comes back, you'll get 20 to 1 in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile if he
He's
comes
on-
back.
And I
I hope he's on the correct lead here, and then he goes off. But like even Albar was on the wrong lead at one point here down the stretch.
Which
So
is
give him some
scary.
credit too. Yes.
Which is scary. Albar was also on the wrong. and it was still just like geared down. Like,
Yeah. Did Dripping Gold get a call, by the way? I hate to ask everybody.
You're just being cruel now.
Okay, Ellis. I
Ouch.
get it.
ouch. As my wife would say, don't yuck my yum. You are
What?
totally.
But
What is
you know,
that?
I swear
Sorry.
I'm the droll Rosario Jinx.
You know what though? Like, honest to goodness, I would love to know the backstory now as to why they gelded this horse. He's now a Grade 1 winner, and he's gelded, and he's a half brother to a Group 1 winner in Cascadian. I mean, again, that must have been a very tough decision, because you don't geld a horse who has that type of talent unless there was just some reason why you wouldn't focus. I mean, potentially maybe something went awry. I don't know. I guess an accident could happen too. Where,
Well, Ren, is it possible that there's like actually some like health issue that would
potentially, but either way, that would have been a huge and sad, heartbreaking type decision to make,
Well,
because now you have
2 years old. Yeah.
especially, and I mean, especially the fact that, again, when you already have now consistent Group and Grade 1 class through that line, that's tough. Do you know, oddly enough, can you imagine this? They nearly gelded Northern Dancer. Think about that for a minute. No Sadler's Wells, no Galileo, no Frankel, no Nijinsky or Nureyev or any. Can you imagine that?
So,
practical
can
joke would be
I
the
put a
greatest
question
horse
out
in
there now to you
of our
guys?
time.
'Cause I assume everybody's going to be tuning into the Breeders' Cup. So now with these races under their belt, and obviously the Euros schooled us this weekend.
Yes.
Godolphin schooled us this weekend.
But-
What a year for
Okay,
them.
In my
Appleby
mind,
schooled us.
like, you know what? Usually September is cooler, and we might have a yielding turf course, which I always take the Euros into consideration for, right?
Mhm.
And you know what? I think the course was firm, and they adapted to the course quite well. So now going to Del Mar, where in November it's going to be your sort of winter-ish, which for me is going to be heaven. But if there's no rain and the turf is firm,
Yeah.
and the weather is nice, what do you do?
I think they bring the horses over already with that in mind, knowing the types
I
and
know
the
they bring
pedigree.
them over, but as a handicapper, what do
I think you still look
Like,
at
you
them the
think,
same
okay.
way. I don't think you take that necessarily into knocking them, because I mean, I think the horses that they point toward the Breeders' Cup are the horses they know that can handle that, like have their feet rattled.
Dismount
Right.
time,
So here's
maybe.
my thing.
Come
I'm
on,
thinking that-
Frankie.
Come on, Frankie.
I'm thinking
That's
that
right.
the Europeans are sending over the horses now that prefer the firmer turf
Yeah,
and can handle the conditions,
exactly.
right? Like I remember before at Santa
Oh!
at Santa Anita, it'd be like, oh, it's too hot and humid, and the turf course is too hard, so you would toss the Euros, or you know, at Keeneland they spanked us, and so you know what I mean, like. That's what I'm kind of wondering now. I'm just gonna.
What was Tarnawa?
You know,
What was Tarnawa? You remember?
What do you mean?
oh, geez.
What do you mean? What is Tarnawa?
Price wise.
Oh, come
Huge.
on. What is this? Jeopardy?
Huge, right?
I'm gonna look it up.
By the
She did,
way,
she did phrase it correctly.
yeah. By the way, this is where's this comment here? There's a great comment here. Oh, here it is. This is like, honestly, just write this down if you're watching. If you're still with us here,
Yeah.
write this down. I can assure you this is a true comment. This is absolutely true. Charlie Appleby will win a few in the Breeders' Cup. I have no doubt Charlie Appleby will win a minimum of 2 Breeders' Cup races.
I wanted him so desperately to bring Pinatubo over last year. Was it last year or was it the year before now? I don't know. Everything's a blur.
Well, let's just think of this now, right? Grade 1 race. I mean, I would say graded stakes races in North America. When Appleby puts a horse in graded stakes in North America, he's now 9 for 19 over the last 5 years. I just went 5 years back. I mean, it's 50. It's as far as I'm concerned, it's 50%.
Ridiculous.
And I mean, how amazing is that everything he sends is fit, mentally, physically, placed right, peaking at the right time. It's like,
Well, they know exactly which horses to send over, right? I mean,
I think Ellis is just trying to make me feel bad.
No, not at all.
Can I do this again?
No, you know what I'm saying. My next point was going to be the Dolphins should get out me some dirt horses. They might finally win a Derby.
Yeah, maybe.
I was wrong. Tarnaro wasn't the big price. Tarnaro was just 92. Who was the one that was the giant price in the? Oh gosh, help me out in the mile.
But did not have the classic winner last year, and I can't remember.
Whatever, but in any case, yeah, that was certainly impressive. And if anybody was wondering why I was being a weirdo doing this, it's because again, if you missed it, you missed it. The horse's name means sea. So
Order of Australia was the
this was me during the wave. Yes,
That's
Order
it.
of Australia.
70 to 1.
Yeah, Order of Australia totally messed me up last year.
70 to 1.
And of course, I had Order of Australia, but I didn't have.
Oh, sure, Dan. No, I'm joking. I believe you, actually.
I was allowed 6 horses in the classic for anywhere from 80,000 to 500,000, and I didn't have the winner. How about that?
Oh.
How about that? I thought authentic was like just completely cheap speed.
Did you throw up?
No.
I know I always come back to throw up on these shows.
Well, since I was alive for so much, I bet 2,000 to win on authentic, so I still had a good day.
Okay.
But
Well, wait a minute. Whoa. You bet. Okay, so what was your way of covering yourself? Like if you were wrong?
I had because I was alive to 6 horses, and so I didn't have authentic. And I didn't have a few other horses, but so I bet on. I finished 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. I was alive to between 80,000 and 500,000.
That's so sick, Dan. I'm sorry.
I mean, I still don't believe in authentic, so there's that. But we won't get into that. I don't believe in authentic. I never did, and he beat me that day. But look, he got a nice little setup, right? Maximum security helped him out a little bit. It all worked out.
Who was it that out of spite, and I told you, me and Penelope both were like, don't do this to yourself, Dan. That horse is not going to get a mile and a quarter if they're drag. And like,
it's like
you bet the horse out of spite. Anyway, I can't remember. It was years ago.
Oh yeah, no, I always it might have been Practical Joke actually, who's like the other like sort of bane of my existence horse. Yeah.
But you know what? I love him as a freshman sire. That was a horse I was really excited about because of the precociousness that I thought he would, 1,000% bring to the table, and then being by into mischief.
Hey, real quick, they're stripping gold.
Oh, you're so cruel.
Wait, photo for what? For 10?
4.
Oh, okay.
Ellis, that's just not nice, eh?
I'm sorry.
Us Canadians.
I feel like it's personal. Did you go see this horse?
Really,
Did he bite you?
We have a lot of heart and stuff, and we don't like intentionally try to spear people like you're doing, Ellis.
You know what it's all about, Sherry? I'm wondering why he was the second choice, because I mean he wasn't even on my long list. That's my, and I know you guys both liked him.
Ellis is going to go all night with this one. He's not
I know, and he's just going to make it worse and worse and worse.
I love you all. I love you guys. I wouldn't.
I know. It's all good. And you know what? That's why horse racing is what it is. Is because we all have different opinions.
Yep.
And I respect that. And you know what? When I pick, like I said, Rosario, so hard.
Yeah.
All weekend, I bet him. I jinxed him all weekend. So I would expect nothing less today.
But I want to also say a plus for Woodbine. Like you talk about, Sherry, right? The 2 horses came out of the Soaring Free ran really good. I mean, they ran a 3rd and 4th, right? Yep. Because Grafton Street ran 2nd. So they ran 3rd. Oh, no, they ran 3rd and 4th. So that was a pretty good effort, the Soaring Free, as opposed to and just remember, by the way, the European horses, you make people, Ren, I'm sure everybody knows this. If not, I'll tell them. The European horses are just so further along in the fall. For whatever reason, they're just so much better prepared physically and mentally than our horses are.
Well, just look at the number of starts.
Something
and
else
the class of the starts.
Is we also got started late, right? Because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of our local horses did not get to start racing until the beginning of July. And I'm not saying that's so a lot of times we always look for the horses that were winter raced and raced elsewhere. And that's why yesterday the mile was a really big thing for us to have somebody local win. is because it just kind of brought the community together.
Yeah.
And, you know, like we were supposed to start in April. So people had their horses here in February, and we don't start running till the beginning of July. Like, if you're keeping score and on how much owners have to pay and, you know, trainers, and like there was a lot of things that really went wrong still for us here. So, you know, the fact that we could actually even run these races is huge.
And run them at the right time, too. Run them on the right schedule.
Yeah,
exactly. With people here. And I'm going to be honest, I really hope that they keep the mile and the Pattison on the same day. Because for people shipping in from Europe and stuff, it was so nice to see them. It was so nice to see people, right? So, you know, there's so many different factors that people have to consider. And I'm not saying that, you know what, next year we're going to come back bigger and stronger, but next year we're going to come back bigger and stronger.
I love it. No, I do. I love it.
Yeah.
You know, like Mark Cassidy runs a lot in the US, which is great. But, you know, for a lot of our little owners up here, it was a big thing that we can actually just keep doing what we're doing. And
he's had so much success. He's had so much success up there that we joke all the time that people think he's actually Canadian.
Well, I want to.
And a lot of people think he is Canadian. And Norm Cassie too.
He's a Florida boy.
Because Norm was up here with Tepin.
Yep.
Right. So, you know, there's just so many stories, and it's a great thing that I hope that we can continue to do, kind of like these little videos, so that people can understand what Woodbine has had to go through to actually get to this point. Even
a lot of trainers don't ship out, right?
Like we just ran our Queen's Plate not that long ago in Prince of Wales, and you know what I mean. So for us, we're still so far behind in the racing schedule that you guys are, that it was a huge weekend for everybody here. And like Mark McKelvey, Jamie Dykstra, Jim, everybody did such a great job making sure that everything came together this weekend, that I really think that there's some big kudos that should be coming their way. Sure. And I'm so grateful that you guys participate and do these shows, because then it brings the US into us, right?
Oh, Woodbine's a great track. I'll say it firsthand. I'm sorry I missed you when I was there, but I had a fantastic.
Fantabulous.
Yeah, it was great. I had a ridiculously good time. I want to add to what Sherry said, though, on a serious note, that not only did the people Sherry mentioned, Jim Lawson, Jamie Dykstra, Mark McKelvey, and others do a fantastic. Brittany was still there at the time.
Brittany.
Yeah, and so I mean, just do a fantastic job. But a lot of trainers don't ship out. Cassie has a big enough stable; he ships down to Gulfstream. Other guys do. McKnight will ship to Oaklawn, but a lot of people stay there. And a shout out to the Woodbine Cares, which I think is the charity, and also whatever the charity was. I know Jamie from LNJ threw a lot of money at the charity to keep the backstretch workers in food and clothing and heat for the winter, so that everybody that's there, because they just stay there year round. They don't go anyplace else. And that was phenomenal. For those that don't know, you can look it up. I mean, it's just tremendous. North American, not just Canadian, but North American owners and other people contributed to support everybody in December, January, February, March, and then in April when you couldn't run. So.
And also supporting it by sending horses up there too with Josie Carroll, right? Like Belichick that's, though I will say, Ellis, going back to Dripping Gold, as I mentioned, same family as Cafefe, so I thought maybe you would have a little bit of loyalty, but I guess not.
Dripping Gold will do all right. And you know who else is going to do all right? You should add to your virtual stable, Mrs. Barbara.
100%.
Barbara, I can guarantee you.
Good job, you guys.
We'll win a graded stakes race at Gulfstream this winter.
Yeah.
So add Mrs. Barbara to your virtual stable. Cassie will bring the horse down.
Grafton Street. Watch Grafton Street.
And Grafton Street. Absolutely.
Yep. One more little tidbit I want to add is that I'm very grateful to Woodbine for always allowing my daughter to have access with me, because they have right from the start. So I'm trying to create a whole different genre of kids that come out and appreciate the races.
Oh,
So from all the people from the backstretch before COVID that allowed me to bring Sienna and her friends back, which big time is Sarah and Tony Galilero and Catherine Day Phillips and Mike DiPaolo and Josie DiPaolo. They've been so welcoming to Sienna and I, always coming back. And I wanted to teach her that racing isn't just the 2 minutes that you see on TV. There's people that work day and night. And it's funny because when we went backstretch and then we went to races, she was like, oh my God, Mom, they've been here all day. I'm like, yes, they have been. And that's been from when she was 5 years old and now she's 14. Wow. And so for 9 years, I've made sure to show her that everything that's involved in it. And Woodbine has given me the ability to be able to do that. So I think when you want to bring the next generation in or the younger generation, there's a certain way that you can do it. And I owe them a big thank you for allowing me to bring her to the media floor. And everybody accepts her. And Dan knows this because Dan's seen us at Saratoga. He's seen us in Arlington. And, you know, like he's seen us all over. And it really makes a difference when you can have the positive experience on kids that age. Yeah. Because on Instagram, all of her friends are seeing what she's doing and they all are, oh, we want to go to Woodbine with you and we want to do this. They think it's the coolest thing. So, and I know Ren, being a mom, you're going to be the exact same way. And, you know, the girl's going to grow up in the exact same thing. So I just want to say a huge thank you to Keith McCalmont, who's started us in this whole thing. Yes. Keith is one of my great friends. Him and Bailey have always welcomed us with open arms. Keith, Jim, Jamie, Mark, all of them. They've all been so good to us. And I think that's one of the big things. If you want to get the young kids started and make sure they know the whole racing scenario, do it.
Yeah. Well, next time, hopefully, everybody at Woodbine will send their engineers so that you don't have the same audio sound. But other than that, they've been great to us. They didn't give us their technicians for this, but no.
Whereas at Woodbine, hey, it would have worked.
But you know what? To go with what she's saying, just real quick, I'll say this. I mean, not only are you looking at, because I even had posed this at something I had to do a write-up on. You know, the fact that we see these horses, we see them run the races, and the distance between that horse and the winner's circle is so much greater than where they start at the starting gate itself. Because when you're really looking at it, you're looking at generation after generation. You're looking at horses beyond even what happens on the backside itself. You're looking at horses or planned matings that go back, again, generation for generation. And just one example of that, yesterday, the Win and You're in action, we had the Pocahontas and the Iroquois, also races that start horses on the respective trails to the Kentucky Derby and the Kentucky Oaks. Well, the Iroquois winner, rather, who got 10 points toward the Kentucky Derby, Major General, you know, one of the things I thought was so fascinating when I went back, he is direct tail female to Mahuba. And you might be like, oh, who, Mahuba? Who's that? Mahuba's the dam of freaking Man o' War, okay? So, and not only that, but she's like the great-great-grandmother of Assault, who won the Triple Crown. He was the 7th Triple Crown champion. So when you really look at these horses, you are watching history. You're watching that manifestation and you know, horses now bore out in the flesh that go back. I mean, it's ridiculous. So you have to think that the thoroughbred breed, thoroughbred racing in particular, it just has this mystique about it that I don't think we promote enough. And as impressive as that victory is, the filly hidden connection.
Woo!
She ran more than a full second faster.
I'll correct you, Ren. It's not ridiculous. It's redonkulous.
Redonkulous. Sorry, it's
That's
redonkulous.
Right. It is redonkulous.
I gotta give it the lingo, the jargon.
It's 6:05 here on the East Coast. We can go all night, but
yeah, we could
because we know they have other things to do, and
I have to make dinner.
Yeah. So for Ren, for Sherry, for Ellis, I'm Dan with America's Best Racing. This is Woodbine Live. It's been a pleasure. We will see you next time.
Thanks for watching.